Playoff, man, I don't know. I know people like the playoff. I know a lot of people campaign for the playoff. We need a playoff in college football. It's not fair that we let computers decide whatever. Looking at like the 2011 season, 2008, you had all the controversy in the Big 12 South. We need a playoff. We need a playoff. And now we've gotten a playoff. Games all suck. They do. Like, we've had now 15 playoff semifinals, 3 good ones. 3. You had Alabama, Ohio State that first year. Awesome game. You had Georgia, Oklahoma in it was the 2017 regular season with Baker. Great game. And you had Clemson, Ohio State in 2019, the year Clemson beat Ohio State. Great game. Other than that, it's been a whole lot of butt kickings. So I don't want to hear any nonsense. Oh, Cincinnati didn't belong. Any of this, because every team in the country would have gotten their butt kicked by Alabama today. That wasn't in the top 3. And that's usually how it is. We have 2 or 3 really great teams, and then we have some add-in. This game reminded me of Alabama, Washington. Let me pull up that box score real quick, see if it looks any similar. In 2016, that's what this game looked like, where you're watching this whole game and you're like, and Washington took an early 7-0 lead in that game, so it was a little bit different, but you're watching that game and it's 17-7. Here it was 17-3, 17-6. And you're just like, man, you are one play away. And they almost got the play with the muff punt. They're like, you're one play away from being right in this game. And the Cincinnati offense just couldn't get it done. Desmond Ridder, 17 for 32, 144 yards. Obviously no touchdowns or interceptions. Only 4.5 yards in attempt. Not great. I say so myself. And the one thing I really do hate about ESPN's box scores is they don't do defense in college football. So I got to wait for Cincinnati or Alabama's website to update live stats, which is super annoying. Bryce Young the story of today was Brian Robinson Jr. and the Alabama defense just shutting everything down that Cincinnati wanted to do, especially the defensive line today. David put it in 4 knockdowns. Those windows need to be open because a couple of those came on big try for third downs, and one was in the red zone on that first drive. Where if Cincinnati scores a touchdown there, we got a game. Because hey, if you're a defense and a team it can get you, it changes the psychology of your game plan. It's like being a goalie in hockey. Like once a team gets you once, then they can beat you. It kind of changes how you approach things. But they had to settle for 3. I don't blame them for kicking the field goal in either of the spots where they kicked them. But man, it was a dominant performance by Alabama today. It was the same performance we've seen Alabama put on against Notre Dame. OU was a weird one because they went up 28-0, and then Kyler kind of put themselves back into the game. Like it still finished like 49-38, I think. But yeah, it's just Alabama did what Alabama does. They're the only program in America who we can all admit had a rebuild this year. New quarterback, new weapons on the outside, new running back, a lot of new faces on the O-line, a lot of new faces on defense. Not really, though, but some new faces on defense. Here we are. The Alabama Crimson Tide are going to play for a national championship next week. It's nuts. And credit to Nick Saban for what he's built. I mean, I know people find it annoying. Yeah, I think Cincinnati played Bama. I mean, both are like the same. Like, it's hard to compare one to the other. Like, they're all just butt kickings that, while the Cincinnati defense played really hard, they did. Like, that game could have gotten out of hand really quick. Once Cincinnati had like 3 and outs, like first, second quarter, that game could have gotten out of hand really quick because Brian Robinson was just running it and running it and running it. And it didn't. It never got out of hand until, the fourth quarter. Because it was 3 scores. So credit to the Cincinnati defense. They played their tails off. Yeah, like